So I'm bringing with me this weekend a Energizer headlamp, and to be honest, it's not as good as the one that I brought out with me last weekend. It only has two functions, plus off obviously. It's got this sort of dull, cheap torch sort of level of light here. This red, dull, what would you call it? Sort of like for reading at night or looking around your tent and not disturbing other people in the area. It's then obviously, right, I don't know if you can make it out on camera how dull this torchlight is. It's definitely going to be muddy in the morning. Torrential rain for a past hour. Condensation's forming in this tent. The mat and the sleeping bag are brilliant though. Yeah. This sleeping pad, by the way, I've found at a car boot, and it cost me £2. And it's the old kind. Like you can get the new ones where they scrunch down to the size of your fist, but it's the old kind, self-inflating, and it does the job. I have no qualms about it, and I can't grumble for £2. Right, I'm going to try and get some sleep now. It's the early hours of Saturday morning, and I've a lot to do tomorrow. A lot to tell you, a lot to show you. Catch you in a bit. So, as you can probably hear, the rain is absolutely lashing it down now. And I'm stuck in my tent. And I thought I'd give it a bit of a review while I'm here. And what can I say about this thing? Other than this ventilation system on the roof here, there's no real way of airing the tent. There's no fly net, so you can have the main door open and still have like a little bit of security. The door itself, I'm used to, back when I used to go work festivals, I had tents where they had like the main zip in the middle and then the two little bits that lead off. This, however, is just a large archway and it zips downward. So every time I open it, and you have to fully unzip it to be able to roll it up. There's no like halfway points or anything. So every time I unzip it, it catches in the mud, and it's just an awful experience dealing with that, because you have to unfurl it, move all your stuff out of the way, unfurl it, clear all that stuff off, then fold it up. It's a real quite annoying experience. Condensation just gets everywhere, no matter what I do. I can spend like I spent a good 20 minutes this morning clearing water that had gathered in corners. Within 5 minutes it rolled back again. I mean, it is waterproof. It's just water is collecting on the inside, and it's a really poor design, this tent. What I think the market aim for is, have you ever been to a music festival like Glastonbury or Download, and you see on the campsites when everyone's packing away, you'll always see inevitably in the far corner a massive pile of tents and rucksacks that have been dumped. I think that's the market that they're aiming for. You know, they just take it to a festival, it'll get trashed while you're there, you don't really care because you've only spent a few quid on it. yeah, it's just this cheap throwaway society, I suppose. But what were I going to say? Yeah, if you're going to if you're going to buy yourself your first tent, I would go to either a charity shop or a military surplus shop. Ask the staff there. They'll be more than happy to help you. Just if you go into a charity shop, just say, do you have anything camping related in the back? 9 times out of 10, I've been into charity shops and they do have something just right at the back of the warehouse or the back of the little storeroom that they used to put the stock out with. Yeah, that's my little rant for the morning. This tent, if you've got 25 quid to spare on a tent, go anywhere else other than where this is from. Now this sleeping bag, on the other hand, is absolutely amazing. I was going to bring a multi-layered lightweight setup with me with items that I bought from Sports Direct, Go Outdoors and Pound Stretcher. But one day I went and visited this relative and they'd purchased this sleeping bag, and I promised that I'd bring it out with me this weekend, and I have not been disappointed. Thank you very much. The dimensions are 190 by 70 by 23 by 44 centimetres. It's got extra room for your feet, and it's made from a specialised Apex cocoon fabric. Minus 15 degrees is the extreme end from which this bag claims to have a comfort and safety level. I've not been able to find anything online related to this brand, other than there's an Australian company with a similar name that is quite expensive, including astronomical prices with postage. It is, however, very nice. It's nice quality, actually, really nice quality. The zips are brilliant, and so is the material. If you can find one, I'd highly recommend you buying one. So I ventured outside into the rain. It's absolutely horrible out here, and I've started doing a little bit of a tidy up, clearing away my fire, and leaving a nice bed for whoever uses it next. There was a large piece of fencing, just that there, that whoever had been here before had left it to get leansed against this wall. Too heavy for me to carry all the way down to where they store the actual firewood, which is just there. So I've just put it to one side, out of the way. I've cleared away a load of tin cans and crisp packets that were lying around, because part of the leave no trace is leave it as good as or in a better condition than when you arrived. So yeah, I'm just going to give you a bit of a walk around of how I've tidied up. There's the offending tent. The only good thing about this tent, by the way, were the actual tent stakes and tent pegs. They really did the job quite well. Everything else was absolutely dire. I mean, you can see the mud stains that are all over the front of it. I'm going to have a real do cleaning this up when I get home. Yeah, this is the site as I will leave it. The weather is getting, well, it looks like the weather's going to be like this for the rest of the day. I'm already absolutely covered in mud. So yeah, that's me for the next hour or so, giving this place a bit of a tidy up and spruce up, and then head off home, I think. Pack the tent down, of course, pack up, yeah, and then head off. Yeah, so everything's packed away now. I've tidied up as best I can. Let's say I would have done a better job if that shovel had functioned correctly. But there you go. That blue bag, by the way, is all the rubbish that I've collected from around my area. And man, of course. The rain's eased off for the time being, so I'm going to quickly put my rucksack back on, head off down into the town and get on a bus. Catch you later. So I'm back home now, and I'm currently going through the long, delicate process of cleaning all the metal and plastic cut kit, getting all the dirt and grime off. I use washing up liquid, sterilising fluid. For the plastic bowls and things, I use a cloth. For the metal, I use Brillo pads, gently just scrubbing away. As for the rest of the kit, I'm going to leave it to air overnight. I've got the sleeping bag hung over a chair next to the radiator, laying it air. Same with the bag. I've got all the zips on the bag open, laying that air. Because the last thing you want is to just stuff it back in a cupboard, leaving it damp or whatever, and then coming and finding it full of mould and all kinds of horrible stuff. The sleeping bag's actual compression sack I will need to clean. The roll mat, I'm leaving that for the time being. I need to sort something out on that. I'm not quite sure what's wrong with it at the moment. The tent is on a pound shop poncho. It's filthy, it's soaking wet, and I have nowhere else to put it for the time being. Like I say, everything's airing, and hopefully I can deal with it in the morning.